like random people cheering for you and saying like, keep going. There was an awesome sign. It's like, run away from your problems and run towards your dreams. I thought that was such an amazing fucking sign that was out there. It's good to be back, guys. It's been a while since I've been on the SUGA CRAVE show. I've been doing a lot of breakdowns recently, and that's been so much fun doing those breakdown videos. But just this whole beginning of the year has just been crazy. I completed my half marathon that I did recently at the Rose Bowl, and just the training part of it all. It was crazy. It was from starting back in June of 2022. I couldn't even run a mile. I would run to the local, highway and back, and just getting to the highway, it was such a struggle. My calves were burning, my legs. I didn't even know if I could freaking make it there in one piece. It was just like, it was so grueling sometimes. But being consistent about it, running every day, it just helps so much with everything else in my day-to-day life. Because you build that repetition. You start putting in the miles, right? Especially when you go to train a marathon. The first thing they talk about is just getting the miles done, getting your miles in every day. Putting at least, if you could put at least 8 miles in. That's like the minimal. And so I kind of did that during the training. The first month I was really trying to get to my point of, my goal point to make into the freeway without stopping, without, having to take a water break. And then from there, once I reached that goal, I started, thinking about other goals. How can I run there and back home without taking a water break or stopping, taking a rest? And, slowly you start building, you start pushing yourself. And honestly, training for this marathon or half marathon, it was such a great impact in my life. As you could see, just the amount of weight I lost, I feel better. I started thinking about, okay, not only I'm losing the weight, what am I putting in my body? And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of moments I'm like, let me go do a Mickey D's run and get some French fries. But recently, just kind of breaking down, okay, what do I want to, meal prep for the week, so I don't think about it. Because the more you think about what food you want to eat, I noticed that, especially working in the studio, you just kind of, you don't have that precious time to make your food each day. So it's best to like meal prep for the week. And so, you could take your lunch to the studio, and, most studios have microwaves or hopefully ovens as well, but most of them have microwaves, so you could just heat up your food and you don't think about it as much. Because, that was the thing that I struggled the most, was my diet when it came to working at the studio. Because, I never would bring lunch, so I would go to like the local shitty, restaurant or shitty fast food, and then the cost too of going out to eat, is you got to factor that. So, but training for the specific marathon, which let me show you the award too. It's like the coolest freaking thing. Let me see if I can grab it. So it's so cool. It's like so legit too. It's like heavy. I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera. So yeah, it's like so legit. It's at the Rose Bowl. And yeah, it was one of like was pretty hefty when it came to the trail, because you start off like right outside, kind of like the main entrance, and you go up these hills. And I was like, when I was training for this, around my neighborhood, there's some hills, and it wasn't as grueling as it was when I went and actually ran the half marathon. But it wasn't as bad as I was gonna think, because I was looking at the map and I was like, oh fuck, there's so many hills, and it's hard. It's really hard, especially if your legs are not trained for it, or the craziest things about running is the whole science about it, about like how to mechanically run, how to not extend your legs, because if you extend your legs, you pull something in your thighs, or your knees start becoming deteriorated because of the way that you extend your foot, or you don't extend, or you extend a little too little. It's crazy, just the whole fucking science about running in general, and how you can improve, and how you can utilize certain movements to pass other people, especially up hills, how to run uphill, how to run downhill. Like, it was so crazy. The type of shoes you have to wear, what kind of socks, I really, really got in deep with it, mentally and financially as well, because like really good running shoes is worth it. It's totally worth it. I got these like Nike Pegasus, and they're worth every penny, because you feel like you're in clouds, and you get these like special shorts, these special socks for it, and shirts. And it was just the morning of that marathon. I can remember it was so fucking cold. It was like, I think probably like 50 degrees, or a little above 50 degrees. But I was on shorts, like short shorts, like runner shorts. And then I had like this like track top, very minimal covering. And, I wore gloves and a hat, and that's all what I was covering up with my skin. And I was like, at first I was like freezing my balls off. I was like, fuck, I don't know if I'm gonna, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I probably needed my coat. I brought my coat, but I was just like, you know what, fuck it. It's gonna slow me down, and I just want to fucking achieve my goal. I want to hit a specific time and see if I can do it. And when I first got there, I fucked up, because they have these like time markers, these like pace runners, and they have these specific times of when like you'll hit your the finish line. So like, for instance, my average is like about an hour 40 minutes of completing a half marathon. So I was trying to get to that, but it was so up front in the line. There were so many people. They were saying there was about like 7,000 people that ran this, and I was just like, holy shit. I was so off. I thought it was gonna be like 1,000 or something, but it was so many people. So trying to get to that pole, it was just nearly impossible. So the farthest I got was like 2 hours and 10 minutes. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be in the back of the pack. No way. To me, I was worried about my time. Mainly, I really, really got like hyper focused. I was like, man, I want to hit my time. I want to beat the goal. My goal was about like an hour and 30, like a little, like an hour 35 minutes. If I could hit that, I'd be pleased as hell. But I was standing on line, but I was worried about that, because I wasn't sure how do they target, how do they measure your time. But it's really cool, because on your number sheet, they have like this barcode on the side that I think once you cross the the start line, it triggers that time. So once I crossed that, I just fucking booked it. I was just like, like I was running like I was fucking jacked up on fucking Mountain Dew. I was just like, I gotta reach my time, right? Reach my time. I'm listening to fucking like Slipknot. I'm just like, like just fucking going, and it was so thrilling. It was fun. Even just standing in line and seeing all these people fucking excited because this is they're kicking off the new year with a half marathon, and everybody's happy. Their families are there to support them. It was such a beautiful thing. I was never expecting that to impact me in a way. Because when you're training by yourself. You're just focusing on the run, on nothing trying to distract you. You're trying to focus as much as you can on the run. Unfortunately, you have to run the streets, so you have to watch out for cars. So, but luckily for this, everything was blocked off. But seeing everybody, like random people cheering for you and saying like, keep going. There was an awesome sign. It's like, run away from your problems and run towards your dreams. I thought that was such an amazing fucking sign that was out there. And it kind of motivated you. Definitely a lot of the signs that were out there, I was like, that's cool. So, some of them were fucking corny, don't get me wrong, but but the meaning behind it, it was beautiful. Like a lady, I passed this one, and the lady's like, keep going, go, you got it, good job. Like, I don't even know this lady, and she's cheering for me and all the runners to go and, to motivate you. And they're like, good job, especially towards the finish line. It was really cool, just like seeing the crowd of families or people there just cheering you on once you pass them and go in the tunnel. And like, yeah, it was such a, at the end of the race, it was just such a fucking the greatest experience. I probably would go next year again, and do it because it was so amazing. Even being at the Rose Bowl. The Rose Bowl is such a historical stadium, and specifically for myself and my family, because my mom and I would watch countless of Rose Bowl games. We were big fans of USC, so we would watch them compete, against Wisconsin or whatever, Stanford, and we were just like, one day we want to go to the Rose Bowl parade and then the Rose Bowl game, and it was amazing to finish there and like being able to touch the grass that like many famous players have been there, and it was great because you're just like, I've reached my goal. I've hit a goal that I've been training for a very long time, and I was able to do it. I beat my time too. I think I got an hour and 30. I want to say an hour and 30 minutes and plus a couple of seconds. So close to hit an hour and 29, and it was so beautiful. Right when before I was hitting the finish line, it was kind of cool. Me and this guy were going back and forth. Like he would go forward, he would pass me, and then I would reach up to him and then pass him, and we would just go back and forth. So around the finish line, we kind of ended the same way, and I just fist bumped him. I was like, you know what, you fucking killed it, dude. And he was like, thank you, man, I appreciate it. Like, it was like I didn't even know the motherfucker, and it was just so cool to have a somewhat of a bonding experience with a stranger that you just don't get that. You don't get that with any, like, you don't get that anymore when when you become an adult, because you're not playing. If you're not a professional athlete, you're not, or in a professional sport, you don't get that bond that you would if, like, you could, I guess you could get that with work. You could be like, hey, you fucking did a fantastic job, which me and my coworkers do that all the time. At the end of the week, we kind of evaluate, or even beginning on Monday, we'd be like, you know what, you killed it last week. It was fucking great. That's such a great idea. It's so great to have that, but in an active sport, like, it's a whole different experience. You're not, because you both understand that you guys put so much effort into that at the end, you just gave it all that you could, and just that energy and fucking strength and emotions just come out, and you're like, fuck, dude, we did it. It's almost going into a battle, but a battle of mindsets. And I think that was the overall experience that I got from him. It was just keeping my mind going, saying I can do it. I can make it to 13 miles. And during that training, I already hit it. Like, I want to say 3 months prior to even the Rose Bowl happening. And once I hit it, it was such a great feeling. After I hit it during the training process, when I stopped, I was just like, I had to sit, and I was just like, I was just like fucking proud of myself. I was like, yeah, you fucking did it, dude. Now you can do it. For all that training purposes, you can do it. So, like, 3 months prior, me not being able to fucking run to the freeway, into now that, I hit, 13 miles, it was just a whole, like, what else can I do? What other objective, what other plan or idea that I have that I can, make it a reality. And I think that's why, like, songs like Crazy and songs like, Hold Me were like those feelings of, what I made. And it's great to be able to have that notion that things are possible once you set your mind to it. To watch the full episode of the SUGA CRAVE Show, please go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/SugaBrown. You'll be able to watch the full episode with no ads and some bonus footage of the episode. So be sure to go on my Patreon. It's patreon.com/SugaBrown. And until then, I'll see you in the next one.